Okay, ladies and gentlemen, example 2. Determine the equation of a line from a given graph number 2. Here's my graph. What we want to do is we want to express the equation of a line in y equals mx plus b form. So we need to calculate the slope. I need to pick 2 points that I think cross nicely on the graph. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to take this one. I'm going to calculate. That's my run, so I moved over 2 units. That's my rise. Now I went down from this point, and we always move left to right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be down 4. So my slope, which is rise over run, is going to be negative 4 over 2. Now remember that 4 has a 2 times 2 in the top of it, so that whole thing can be reduced to negative 2. Determine the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is going to be at 0, b, so our b value in this case is 5. Plugging it into the equation, y equals mx plus b, that's the equation. It'll be y equals negative 2x, that's my m, plus 5. If I want to check to see if it's right, I could pick a point over here, plug in my x value, and see if they lined up. Example 3. Determine the equation of a line given a slope and any point. So, not just a y-intercept, okay, because that's the b value, but this is going to give us any point. So with a line with a slope of 3 passes through the point 5, 13. Now we saw a question like this in last day's homework, and I took it up in the virtual classroom. So let's see how this works. Determine the slope and substitute. So in this case, we know that they're telling us that the line has a slope of 3, which means that y equals mx plus b is going to be y equals 3x plus b. That's as much information as we know now. Use the given point to solve for b. So we know that this point, 5, 13, lies on the line, which means it must satisfy this equation. We talked about this yesterday and in the virtual classroom. Go back and look at that. But what that means is when x equals 5, y equals 13. So plugging in y equals 3x plus b, you're going to get 13 equals 3. Oops, that's not another 13. That's supposed to be a 5. So 13 equals 3 times 5 plus b. That means you have 13 equals 15 plus b. Take 15 away from both sides because what we want to do is isolate for b. So you're going to get 13 subtract 15 equals b. So b is going to equal negative 2. You now know m. You now know b. So y equals mx plus b is going to be y equals 3x minus 2. And that's how we do a question like that where they're given any point. If they just gave us the y-intercept, we just use it directly. But if they give us any point, we need to substitute it in and determine b. That's what makes the difference. So when it's any point on a line, you must determine the b value. Okay, I'm going to stop there and I'll come back on the next page.